Hello there everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. The lander is in place, I hope. And I've refueled it, recharged it, all that jazz. It's all ready to roll. All we need now is a Kerbal. And it just so happens I've done just a tiny bit of tweaking on my Kerbollo prototype, my Kerbollo designs. Here is Kerbollo 11, which I have greatly refined. Lars Kerman, you're at it again. This time your trip to the moon will not be aborted. Okay. So, big changes I've made. I removed the solar panels. My instinct being that I can recharge it from the space station. That thing has the space station has a ton of batteries on it, so I can recharge my command systems off of the station. As it is, I've got 4 batteries on this, which if memory serves was more than enough to get me to the moon and back. All I need to do is just make sure he can get out. Yes, he can. Excellent. Back on board. So that was the big change. We got another RCS tank for maneuvering to the station. And that's about it. Everything else is pretty much the same ship you've seen on a number of occasions. So, it's a nice bright morning, and we are going to launch ourselves to the moon. In 3, 2, 1, liftoff. Okay, here we go. Armed with new knowledge and experience with how to fly spaceships. We have high hopes for this mission. Not to mention with our new lander design, I really think we nailed it beautiful. I've nailed it on that design. The one-man lander, I think, is going to do the trick. I would have tested it, but life has just not permitted me, and really flying it down and back, I want to take a risk. We're going to take a risk today. I'm pretty confident in the design, but, you know, one of those things we never know until we get there. So, also never knowing if we're going to make it to orbit or not. But you guys will find that out faster than I will. In 2 seconds and a little fade out. Fade out. Okay. Success! We have an orbit with lots and lots of fuel left in our outer tanks, and our inner tank, of course, completely unused, as usual. A little heavier than some of the previous things I've launched. I had to use a little bit more of the fuel out of these tanks than normal, but nothing that I'm really that concerned about. So, now for our lunar burn, which we will do on our next orbit, I think. We'll see how much trouble it's going to be to hit the moon today. I don't think it's going to be there, is it? Oh, man. Boy, I called that pretty good, didn't I? Okay, now if I change my departure time a little, it's more about departure time to change which side of the planet I wind up on. Isn't it? Alright, there we are. Now let me see, it goes counterclockwise. That's the direction we want to go. That's pretty good. That's actually going to put us really nice and close. So that's just about an optimal departure window right there. Man, I don't think I've hit it that well, that quickly in a long time. So let's see now what kind of, all I need to do now is try and tweak its angle of arrival, because that's coming in really steep. Actually, is that periapsis as flat as I thought it was? No, it's not. Okay. Let's see if we can adjust our normal a little just to make this come in a little smoother. Is our periapsis rising? No, it's staying just about exactly the same. There we go. That's going to be a little cleaner, isn't it? Now let's see if we take just a little bit off of our... No. Taking power off is not doable. Can we leave it a different time. If I leave a little later or sooner and put a little less gas into it, will that? No. Nope, 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 nope. No, hold on, wrong way. There we go. And one more. There we are. Good enough. All right, now let's see how flat is that coming in. Not perfect. I could actually maybe even just decrease that a little more. There we go. Now we're coming into a nice clean orbit. Can tell by how flat the return orbit is looking. Nope, that's definitely not going to... Oh, that is reducing it. Never mind. We don't want to be too low, though. That will do. Okay. That's going to be it. Our moon or burn. Now let's just hope I'm not trying to burn through the planet. Because right now it sure looks like that's what I'd be trying to do. Actually, we're one orbit early is what's going on. In 25 minutes, we will be coming we'll almost be a full orbit away. And we'll be pointing almost directly at the planet, I think. Well, we got lots of gas, lots of power left, lots of life support. We used 1 tick of life support thanks to the fact that we only have 1 Kerbal in this ship. Okay, let's quick save, because I always mess up on my time warping here. So better safe than sorry. Well, I guess we can only go 50 times speed anyways. So we can enjoy a nice view of the planet flying by. You know what would be really cool would be if there was city lights and stuff down there. It'd be really neat to have to get to actually see that kind of stuff on the planet below. So 3 minute and 7 second burn means we need to burn at 1 minute and 30 seconds. So in 1 minute time, which also means we need to do a tiny little adjustment to our orbit, our angle. Okay. And lock you on right there. Stabilize. In 30 seconds. 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, burn. Full throttle to the engines, and we're going to the moon. Lars is going to the moon. Here we go. Such as it is. The biggest risk I'm taking with this episode is the fact that Jane is sleeping and I'm currently the guy in charge. So if she wakes up, I will have to cut this episode very abruptly. But that's just the life of a parent right there. It's okay. Everything looks good. The burn is going clean. We're right on our node marker. A lot of power to use to get ourselves out here. What's that guy right there? Oh, that's the leftovers of my booster, I think. No, that's a bunch of junk sitting at the Kerbal Space Center. Interesting. Something I haven't cleaned up, I guess. It's interesting I'm burning and the moon still isn't even in sight yet. I guess that's because of my normal adjustment that I made. It's actually just about to start popping up above the horizon any second now. Moonrise is coming. One minute, 30 seconds to go. Just past the 50% mark. I still have over half a tank of gas. Our orbit is curving quite nicely in the direction we need it to go. That's excellent. Excellent. Excellent indeed. 1 minute to go on the burn, and counting. Coming up on the point where I'm going to have to watch it from the technical view here rather than from the lovely ship view here. Looking good in the sun though. It's a nice ship. 35 seconds to go. Time to start watching, because things start moving very quickly near the end. It's actually interesting to see just how tight that orbit is going to wrap itself around the moon. Pretty sure I got this right. Didn't I get it right? Clockwise, yeah, the space station's going clockwise. I'm sure of it, yeah. Absolutely certain. I'm just doing the burn that I need to do here. Yeah, you see there's the counterclockwise encounter right there. And now we're in an intercept. And now keep it going just a little further. We're just slowing down the engine. Don't want to come in too low. 48 should do. Good enough. That's it. That is our lunar encounter. Quick save, and I will see you once I have established an orbit around the moon, because it's a long trip, and you don't necessarily want to watch me do a burn into the lunar orbit. And here we are at the moon, just finishing up our burn into orbit. And boy, did I ever plan that right. We are just about at a perfect angle with our target, which is just a short distance behind us in terms of our orbit right now. And it's catching up, which means I just need to get this down to a reasonable level. I don't really need... Don't chase that. Don't chase that. A little more. We just need a little bit more. 39. Let's get rid of this. And that's going to go down. We want to make sure it doesn't go lower than our Lunar Station, so I think that's a good spot to stop. Set Lunar Station 1 as our target. Nice! Couldn't have planned that better if I'd known what I was doing, or how to hit a orbiting target around a target planet from Kerbin. Granted, my odds are actually pretty good. The orbital period around the moon is pretty short. I still have half a tank of electrical charge left. I still have a little bit of fuel left in the outer tanks, which should be more than enough for me to do the actual orbital matching. The only part I have to make sure I get right this time is whether to burn towards my target or slow down relative. And I guess we'll find that out in a few minutes. So the target's going to be 32 kilometers apart at the upcoming intersection. So quick saving, because that'll give me some time to think about the results of the upcoming close encounter. So we're going to be going the slowest speed possible relative to our target. So what does that tell you? If I slow down, will my next encounter be closer or further away? Well, it's traveling faster than me. So it seems to me I need to burn retro to orbit to bring my apoapsis and periapsis closer to my target right now, because it's going to continue catching up with me and I don't want it to go screaming past me in a few moments. It says here in fine print, so let's do that. If I keep slowing that down, slow down your speed relative to the target. Come on, lock it on. Because we want us to not get further away, because these intersects are going to be further away, so we need to bring it closer. I'm going to have to trust in my instincts here, because this is doing that thing where I don't trust what it's telling me right now. So if I'm slowing down relative to the target, I should not be getting further away on my next intersect. Because we should be staying relatively close to one another. Yeah, here we go. Now we're starting to talk. Separation is getting higher, but maybe it's going to get lower too. Or maybe I've screwed it up and should have burned towards my target. It's sure looking that way. Interesting. Yeah, so that did not work. Okay, we'll burn towards the target then. Interesting. It just goes to show how much I still have to learn about these things. So, bring ourselves around. So what we need is the burn that will bring us the closest to the target, like keep our positions the closest to one another. And I thought that was going to be burning retro to target to slow down, but apparently it's just going to go screaming by me if I do that, which is no good. So what I need to do is adjust my orbit, I guess, so that my next pass is closer. So I'm going to do it right here, because this is the intersect we want. We don't want to be getting further away from each other. We want this to be getting lower. Okay, there we go. Now I see things are getting lower. Much, much lower. 10 kilometers? Let's not get greedy. That's an improvement. A fairly significant improvement, in fact. Okay. Let's see. It is getting lower. Look at that. 4, 3, 2, 6, 5. There we are. Okay, that was far enough. Now we'll need to burn retro to target, because we want to slow down, pull this orbit closer to our target. We're less than half a degree off from one another, so that's not an issue. Just got to keep an eye on my power situation here. It's starting to get concerning. Not super concerning, but a little. Okay. So we need to find our retrograde marker, which I think will be over here, or if I'm really lucky, that's going to be my prograde marker. Nope. Maybe I'm misunderstanding things. Am I speeding up or slowing down relative to the target right now? I'm slowing down. Interesting. So that tells me if my speed relative to the target is slowing, that if I burn away retro to the target right now, yeah, that's sort of what I was suspecting. Okay, we got to rotate fast and burn towards our target again. Interesting. Don't have much time left. Well, we do, because we're not going to be that far away when I start this burn. Okay. Yeah, here we go. We're lowering. 5, 4.9, 4.4, 4.3, 7, 6, 3.6, holding. Yeah, I think we'd better stop there, because that kind of was starting to hold stable there. Okay, so 3.5 kilometers for our next one. And again, we're going to start slowing down relative to the target. Interesting. Maybe I've been misunderstanding. The only downside is, I guess I'm going to have to burn off a lot of, well, not a huge amount, actually. We're getting pretty close. Interesting. The things I don't understand entirely about what I'm doing in this game are pretty funny. Oh, it's actually, that half degree is actually Well, I guess if we get our next encounter at our descending node or ascending node. Okay. So we're coming around for that close approach again. We're going quite slow relative to the target. Oh, well now we're getting somewhere because our burn away is here, which tells me 3.6. Where'd that one go? No, we've done it wrong, haven't we? Now we've got to slow down. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoops. I just ran out of RCS in the tank I was using. There we are. Get back there. Let's see. Come on. Back we go. Computer controls work really poorly when they have no RCS. Okay. Is that getting lower? Yes, it is. Because we want to keep ourselves slowed down relative to the target so that we don't get further away. As it is, we are getting a little further away. There we go. Now let's see what happens in a few seconds when we get further around the planet. So we're speeding up, which means we need to burn. We're getting close to our descending node, which is good. Yeah, so we're speeding up relative to the target, which means we need to slow ourselves down relative to the target. The target's starting to get a little ahead of me, which is good. Yeah, so we need to slow down. Slow it all down. Back it up now, because we're going to start flying away from our target here. So doing this, there we go. 3.7, 3.8. All right. So now we need to burn towards our target again, because we need to start closing that gap a bit more. Yeah, let's see. Yep, there we go. Let's bring it within 2. See, here comes the prograde marker, which is good. I think you're supposed to burn until the prograde marker is almost on top of your target here in terms of the way these orbits work. 1.8. So we're going to be less than a kilometer away from each other. No, we're still getting closer. 1.4, 3. We'll stop at 1 kilometer because that should be good for us to start slowing down. All right, 0.9. It's a good spot to stop. Now we need to pull this apoapsis down a bit more, which we'll do with a quick drifty. Because yeah, we're going to be going really fast relative to the target because of course we're trying to catch up. It's, whoa, whoops, what happened? What happened? Minor leg spike there, that was weird. Okay. What I am starting to understand are the conditions under which I need to do these various things. Still not entirely understanding what is going on with these various parts and bits and bobs, but you know what, I'm not that concerned about it. The important thing is I'm starting to understand how the hows and the wheres and the what fors of this process. At least the nuts and bolts I'm starting to understand. Okay. So target it right as close onto that marker as possible. And now we should be able to pull down our apoapsis to slow down so that we're going nice slow speed within 1 kilometer of our target. So the intersect should not be changing. What should be changing is the distance of our next intersect. Okay, 25. So we're slowing down, which means we're not going to be going away from our target as much. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Nice. 3. Relative speeds are looking good. Orbits are looking very good. Just a tiny bit more gas, because I think we're at the point where we can start doing our actual docking procedure. Because I don't want to get to the point where I'm starting to fly away from my target. All right, over to the view. Now we need to point ourselves towards our target, which is going to involve some rotation as I figure out exactly where the silly thing is. Now, something I've done with the station, I've reoriented it so that it is sitting, how shall we say, it's oriented at a north-south axis, so the 4 docking ports are sort of oriented horizontally. Well, I guess I could show you. Here we are. So we went with the north-south orientation, so all I have to do is rotate this on its axis a little to orient it properly for docking. If I do it right, I might not even have to turn on the SAS on the station. In fact, it shouldn't be necessary to do that too much, because all I have to do is do a little axial rotation, and this thing will do all of the horizontal movement, which is a much better setup than what I was trying to do before. Okay, so let's get ourselves moving towards a station. Now let's see, we are definitely drifting away from it now, so we need to give ourselves a slight push towards our station. Here comes our prograde marker. We're giving it the tiniest bit of fuel right now. This thing's so big, moving it with the RCS is not a 100% thing until you're really close. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Alright, we're functionally... that information is not useful to us anymore. All that matters is the distance between us is dropping, and our translation is now working. Here we go. Just get ourselves a little closer. Nice. A little more push towards the target. So we don't want this to take eons. But we don't want to, also don't want to put anything in. Okay, we're quick saving here because I don't want to get us in a position where we can't slow down or where we're committed. Okay, so we're going to fly it from, we're going to dock here. So all we should have to do, nope. Oh crap. I thought I knew what I had to do, but I obviously did not. Stop it. Get yourself back to your vertical orientation. Still got lots of time left here. Control from here. Man, this thing feels like it's going to... That's not rotational. What was the rotational? No, that's translation. Oh, man. Maybe some of these need to be disabled. Because I think I'm rotating it around the wrong axis. Okay, let's control from here. Control from here. Cancel. Control from here. All right. back to your vertical orientation. Let's see, how are we doing with our target? Still lots of time. Okay. Now let's, I wish there was a way I could disable that whole ship right there. There we go. That's the way I want it to move. So we want this to more or less, this port here to be more or less facing our ship. So if we do that, okay, looking good. And the command pod is still coming in, which is also good. Come on, keep going. A little further. And then we'll start slowing it down. A little further. Keep on drifting. I got to make sure the SAS doesn't keep screwing me up because it does like to do that. There we are. More or less in the right place. Okay. We'll leave the SAS on for a bit here. No, we need to just tip it a bit more. Okay, back to our ship here. Okay, because we've lost our angle. Up, little. Okay, whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, over and up. And soon we'll be able to start. Excellent. Okay. Now then, now we fly from here and let's see if it's close. Very close. Excellent. Which is good. All right. We will continue flying in. I can't quite target a specific spot on the station yet, but that'll come soon. I don't know what part of the station I'm targeting either, but I can see where I want to target. It's right there. We're coming in at 2.9 meters per second. One more quick save now that we're getting close to having everything oriented properly. This is pretty cool, guys. I'm really excited by this. We have an absurd amount of life support left on this thing because, of course, I have a recycling unit on here. Probably not necessary, but it was good to confirm that this ship will launch as designed. See, if I can get the heavier launch system, I can send that Mooner lander that I designed as, and this as a command pod unit to Minmus and do a Minmus landing with that design. It should work really well. Best part is this design can fly without being manned, and the Minmus lander is only a one-man pod, so I can have a absurd amount of life support for the trip out to the more distant neighbor of Kerbin. But that's a problem for another day. I may also go back and do another, what's the word? I also have the trip to Moho on my list in the near future, which will be really cool. Okay, almost at the point where we can target specific ports on this ship. Let's just make sure our orientation is more or less right. Yep, more or less. Now I understand now, if I use Q while it's oriented this way, it behaves differently than if I use it when it's oriented that way. So control from here. Just a little tiny. Oops. Okay. Stop the rotation. And then say control from here again. Let's hope I got it a little closer if I'm understanding this thing right. Yes, I did. Nice. Okay. This is going, I think I've got this thing sorted. It's just a shame I'd forgotten. We are really close to being exactly on the target we want. I got a docking port. I've got everything I need. This station has tons of excess life support, so that's not a worry at all. I can wait comfortably in my command pod here for the opportune place to land on the moon. Okay. We're actually coming... Oh, was that? I think that's the docking port I want, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay. I think we're okay. We're more or less targeting that docking port now. But we are going to have to slow down soon. In fact, now is probably a good time to do that. We'll get it under 1.5 meters per second. Good. Yeah, and so I'll recharge this stage. This ship will get recharged from the Lunar Station 1, so that won't be an issue either. And our lander that we're flying is this one right here, currently located on the upper node. Not the optimal place for it, but it'll probably dock with one of the outer rings when I return it later. Do any of you know if there's a way to actually get this marker to show up at the part you're actually targeting as opposed to just at whatever it thinks the center of mass or control is? Because it always makes me a little nervous looking at it and thinking, I'm not sure if it's giving me the appropriate data for where I'm going. But this is pretty exciting, guys. The delivery was a bit of a headache because I screwed up the orientation of the station. But this is going swimmingly. Because I'm just sitting here patiently waiting. We're within 175 meters now. Slow it down to 1 meter per second. This thing has lots of fuel. I mean, we have an insane quantity of fuel left on this thing, actually. Because I haven't even turned this tank on yet. We still have functional quantities of fuel in these tanks. Boy, if I had a pump on this thing, I'd actually empty those out and dump them into the station, but... Okay. 50 meters to go. Let's turn off the station's SAS systems so that it's not fighting me. Turn off the RCS as well for now. And this thing will do all of the work. Because it's coming in just about right on target. Okay, we're only 50 meters away, so we should slow down to 0.5. Adjust our angle of approach a little. It's looking good, guys. This is really looking amazing. Slow and steady, doesn't crash into the space station like a ton of bricks. 0.5 meter per second to go. 40 meters, or sorry, 50 meters threshold crossed. It's rotated just a little out of true, isn't it? Control from here. Here we are. We'll just rotate it a little bit further back towards true there. Here we go. Just a little further. Okay, stop. Perfect. Okay. Just maintain your stability. Down a little. Over a little. Slow down a bit more. Looking good. Oh crap, the station's rotating. Or is it just... It's just wobble. It's a little structurally unsound in this central axis here. Definitely has some problems on that front, doesn't it? Did I turn off this thing? I did not. That'll save me some power for the return trip. I really only need that if I actually need to I only need that part if I'm going to be at risk of losing my Kerbal, which is only going to happen if we run out of batteries, and we're still got quite a high amount of power on this thing. So, this is the tensest part of the trip. Always the hardest. Okay, we've got it on fine controls now. Come on, come on. There must be some wobble. Yeah, there's some wobble in the station. SAS off, RCS off. We're just a little out of true from what we're targeting, but I think it's going to be okay. 0.3 meters per second. Come on. A little more. There we are, 0.2. Only 24 meters to go. Looking good, guys. Looking good. I'm really proud of this. This is an exciting moment. My second successful delivery of a Kerbal to the station, and this time we will make it to the ground and back. This lander, I have high hopes for this lander. I really do. I have faith that this is going to work. Alright, well, it's the targeting system is telling me the right information, and I guess that's the important part right here. Okay, SAS off, because this is the point where things start going really weird. Because we got less than... Okay. Yeah, there's just a little bit of an instability in the station itself. Alright. You need to rotate you so you're facing your target. Come on. Come on. Alright, something's going wrong. Okay, slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Come on. Oh, that's the wrong rotation, isn't it? Okay. We must be just barely moving towards this target right now. Come on. Just a little closer. This is good. Okay. God, there's so much noise in the thing right now. There must just be instability in the system, but we're almost right on target. And just don't let the SAS fight it. SAS is off. We're just going to trust that this is as good as it looks. Still my target. Come on, rotation. Work. Work. Magnetic clamps work, please. Please. Oh, we're so close. Okay. We're going so slow right now. I'm hoping the magnets will do the job. Okay, slow down. Slow down. We're just a little high. No, wrong one. Other way. There we go. Come on. Man, okay, just got to do this very carefully. Okay, just back up just a tiny bit. Man, oh man. Which one do I need to do? Control from here. Is that what I forgot to do? Or do I just need to... Okay. Okay, let's see. We need to reorient ourselves just a little. Come on. Rotate it a little so we're facing our target. As we've gotten just a little out of true here. Oof, that's not exactly what I wanted to do. Yeah, that's not the way I wanted to do this. Stop it. Okay, stop rotating, you silly thing. Because what we need to do is translate a little. I wish I could see. You know what? Okay. We need to rotate it back to being perfectly horizontal. This should still be the target. Okay. Now where do we need to move relative to this thing? We need to move downwards. Very gentle. Oh, okay, so part of it is we're rotated out of true. There we are. That's the one we want right there. Okay. Downwards. Oh crap, my station's rotating too. Control from here. Okay, here we go. It never helps when everything's rotating the wrong way. Stop right there. Stop. Okay. Okay, back up a little. Okay, come on. There we go, that's looking a little better. Sorry if I was just a little quiet there for a second. I was really carefully thinking about how okay, I think I got it now. Come on, you can do it. This time we're going to hit it. It's good. Lots of resources left for our guy. We could mess that up just a bit more if we had to. Okay, SAS off so it stops fighting me. minor propulsion on. Come on. Pull together. All together now. Dang it. Come on. Okay, we need to go. Here we go. Here we go. We're almost touching. Excellent. Okay, the two are touching now. Nope, not quite, but close. Dang it, no, we're off. Okay, back up just a little. Back up a little. Back up a little. Man, black flag at the last lap here. I don't know where I screwed up, but there's some odd stuff going on here. Okay. Back upwards relative to the station. Part of the problem is definitely the fact that this thing is rotating kind of out of control. Whoops. Whoa! Whoa! Wrong shift key. Come on. Come on. Don't fight. Don't fight. Don't fight. Oh God. No. No. No, 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 no. Oh. Oh my gosh. It was going so well. Everything was going so well. There it is, come on. There it is. Hey, come on, you two. Come on. There actually may be a stability problem with the actual station, which could be part of the reason I'm having so much trouble. Okay, I think we're locked now. There was a couple of heart-stopping moments there, though. Okay. SAS off. Stop fighting the magnets. There we go. Now we're sliding into position here. Bingo! Was his name-o. Whew! That was challenging. Oh, no, we're still on it. We're still at it. Now we're docked. Hoo-wee! That was some hard flying there. Okay, Lars looks mildly concerned, but that's okay. Okay, where are we? We're just coming around to the dark side, so we're going to have to wait a few minutes here. But, and let me make sure, let's just make sure this thing is fully provisioned. No, it's not. I forgot to do a few things. Okay. Well, we got lots of monopropellant in there. So let's refuel this thing. Oh, I forgot to turn them off while we were doing the dang maneuvering. Silly me. Well, let's hope that's all that I've been wasting. Yeah. This ship technically owes that. Anyways, I'm going to do the fuel transfer, and in the next episode, we will take Lars to the moon. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.